Alright guys, what else are we doing to the chat? What else is out there? Oh, a new Navy 2? Really? Is it good? Somebody have 0 haters. Wrong. Wrong. Chat, is it good or not?
Although he's also able to show of these.
Yo, chat. I didn't pre-watch. Yes, it's my editors. They click on videos. I swear, chat. Because I swear on everything, chat. My editors click on videos. They do though. They do though.
10 beloved celebrities, which one
They
has
do,
the
though.
absolute fewest haters? Well, let's begin by looking at Jack Black, whose hilarious paparazzi interactions are just one reason almost everybody
I'll give
loves
0 try
him.
7.
For example, after being surrounded by a horde of photographers, Jack Black deliberately pulled the stupidest poses on his bike before trolling the paparazzi by doing this.
It's impossible to follow me when I go this fast. Lady dudes, you're in my dust.
Which was a similar response to when he was ambushed by a single photographer.
So, any new projects we should know about, sir?
While most celebrities are concerned about keeping a manicured image, Jack Black shows that being an
Hey,
idiot
walking
can be
Andy.
just as beneficial, although he's
What is
also
that?
able to show maturity in the moments where it matters, like when he took the time to sing to a young kid who was a fan of School of Rock. Jack Black, he's just such a lovable guy. How could you not like him? Met him once briefly, he was nice enough. He was really great with his kid. Something about Jack Black just feels so human, but while Jack Black has always been loved by everybody, the now loved John Cena was once disliked by many. As the
Why
face
though?
of the WWE for roughly 15 years, people have said about John Cena, I hated him when he was being shoved down our throats by Vince, while a Sportster article claimed he was disliked for being overpushed. This had only been done, however, because he was too perfect. He maintains a clean image outside of WWE, and is a perfect role model for kids who form a big part of WWE's fan base, and he carried the company on his back through and through for over 15 years. He was a reliable name for WWE during that time, not to mention he learnt one of the world's hardest languages just to further the company's presence.
WWE has really never been able to penetrate China, so I figured if one of WWE's top superstars could bridge the language barrier, maybe we can get some relevancy over there.
On top of this, John Cena holds the world record for granting 650 wishes through Make-A-Wish, which is especially crazy given no other figure has granted more than 200 wishes.
When you experience something like the reward of a Make-A-Wish, if you're not moved, I don't know if you have a beating heart.
How can haters hate on him? He's a good guy with a kind heart, Cena, you're the man. With all this in mind, it's no surprise Cody Rhodes stated,
John's the ultimate role model.
although if we're talking about ultimate role models, then Steve
Oh,
Irwin has to
damn.
come next. Not only did he treat the media and his fans with respect, but of course animals too, using all of his income to purchase conservation areas in 4 different countries.
What good is a fast car, a flash house, and a gold-plated dunny to me? Absolutely no good at all. I've been put on this planet to protect wildlife and wilderness areas, which in essence is going to help humanity. And you know, money's great. I can't get enough money. And you know what I'm going to do with it? I'm going to buy wilderness areas with it. Every single cent I get goes straight into conservation. And guess what, Charles? I don't give a rip whose money it is, mate. I'll use it and I'll spend it on buying land.
When interviewed by The Age in 2003, Steve used the interview
That
to
is
promote
nice,
the
huh?
protection of endangered species, and it seems his good nature was continued by the rest of his family. I never met Steve, but met the rest of the family when they were filming on Morton Island. Great bunch, friendly, approachable, so knowledgeable and willing to
That is
have a
cute,
chat. Won us all over and were more than happy to join us for a drink in the evening. Steve Irwin was so kind toward animals that even after being killed by
Chat,
a
watch all the time when I
stingray,
was
fans have
younger.
stated, I'm still a firm believer that Steve would have been like, Cricket, I'm so sorry Stingray, I didn't mean to scare you. You were just defending yourself and I was in your space. Gosh, what a beauty. Admittedly, there are
Fucking
people who don't
Stingray,
like
man.
Steve because he kept animals locked in his zoo, although finding a reason to hate Terry Crews is a much more difficult mission. In fact, when you Google Terry Crews in the media, all you'll find is articles like 19 reasons why Terry Crews is a gift to the world, and 9 of the biggest reasons to love Terry Crews, both of which, like Jack Black, citing Terry Crews' less than serious nature. For example, he does the exact same jump at every red carpet event, although there's another Terry Crews meme that's a whole lot better. Daniel the Goat wrote on Twitter, I keep
What do you
this
do?
pic of Terry Crews in my wallet so I can see it when I'm about to waste money on things I don't need, lol, which Terry realized was a pretty good idea. I keep this pic of myself myself in my wallet, so I can see it when I'm about to waste money on things I don't need, lol. Although the reason Terry Crews is ideal for the photo is because he's also incredibly disciplined. In a Reddit AMA, he explained, "I spend almost 2 hours a day working out, and it's therefore no surprise he's built such a crazy physique, which has helped him to land some of Hollywood's most lovable roles, like Cheeseburger Eddie and Latrell Spencer from White Chicks." Terry Crews has also maintained his marriage for almost 35 years, which is a great indicator of likability, given Tom Hanks has done the same. In fact, the only time Tom Hanks ever got angry in public was when somebody bumped into his wife.
Back the off! What are y'all doing? Knocking over my wife!
Although he has been exposed for behaving badly on film sets. Only the person who exposed him was Tom Hanks himself. Not everybody is at their best every single day on a motion picture set, the two-time Oscar winner said. "I've had tough days trying to be a professional, where my life has been falling apart in more ways than one, and the requirement for me that day is to be funny, charming, and loving, and it's the last way I feel." Despite often feeling frazzled, Tom Hanks appears legendary in almost every role. However, even then his movies are often hated, well, again by Tom Hanks himself. Okay, let's admit this. We have all seen movies that we hate. I've been in some movies that I hate. You've seen some of my movies and you hate them, with Tom's honesty about his bad moments only making him even more likable. In fact, the only location you might find a Tom Hanks hater is r/unpopular opinion, where one user responded, "Upvote to the realest unpopular opinion I've ever seen on this sub. Well done, you absolute psychopath." Although nothing would be more psychopathic than despising Bob Ross, who was not only loved for his extremely wholesome persona, but also for inspiring millions to become artists themselves. Bob's show brought me so much joy, peace, and encouragement as a child. He was one of the reasons I started painting. I remember buying my first painting set and painting
I really like hearing him talk.
I eventually realized that his style of painting was not for me, but his warm heart and gentle encouragement is something that I will never forget. In fact, every time I make mistakes in one of my paintings, I hear him saying, "We don't make mistakes, just happy little accidents." This follows Bob Ross's other philosophy that being different is not bad or good, it just is. And in case this wasn't wholesome enough, Bob Ross donated around 1,200 paintings, which was sold to help with fundraisers, while he refused to be paid by PBS for his show, and instead gave all 403 episodes to the TV network for free. Although with one single article about Bob Ross once being difficult to work with, it seems Weird Al Yankovic's legacy might be even cleaner.
Difficult to work with.
Genuinely funny song.
Wait, difficult to work with, bro. His set is a fucking black background, one light or some shit, and one camera. How can it be hard to work with it? The guy's set is like it never changes and just pull it with his painting.
It seems Weird Al Yankovic's legacy might be even cleaner. His genuinely funny songs had the advantage of being part of everybody's childhood, and while his interviews already show that he's a super awesome guy, those who have met him in real life say he's even cooler. For example, Patton Oswalt once said that Weird Al is the lone exception to the phrase "never meet your heroes," while Kurt Cobain literally said he knew Nirvana had made it when Weird Al called him to get permission to parody Smells Like Teen Spirit. This is because Weird Al personally reaches out to each artist before he parodies them, not because it's required by law, but instead out of respect. Even then, Weird Al pays royalties to those he chooses to parody, which in turn makes him loved by other artists, except for Coolio or Weird Al Yankovic's one and only hater. After Weird Al parodied Gangsta's Paradise by instead making Amish Paradise, Coolio hated the song and chose to slam Weird Al on a different track, thus starting their feud. The two eventually squashed their beef 10 years later in 2006, with Weird Al's one and only public feud, placing him lower than James Buckley. His role as Jay in The Inbetweeners was of such legendary status, every viewer couldn't help but love him, but while his character in the show was braggadocious and sometimes mean-spirited, James Buckley was the opposite in real life. When he began uploading to YouTube in 2016, people realized James Buckley couldn't have been more humble, which has since helped him to become the highest paid star.
That shows that's kind of funny.
You're a millionaire.
Yeah, I don't want to rip people off. I charge 40 quid, you know, two mates can go in, 20 quid each, their other mate down the pub.
The only real disaster in James Buckley's career was the Inbetweeners 10-year reunion, prompting him to tweet feeling pretty hated right now. Although given James Buckley is one of the smaller celebrities on this list, Keanu Reeves has to come next. His lack of haters can be summarized by two simple words: likable vibe. Keanu Reeves is known for being one of the most relaxed, humble, down-to-earth guys in Hollywood, being spotted on subways and park benches as if he were just another person. person. On a subreddit dedicated to Keanu Reeves
Holy.
being awesome, the second top post of all time reads, "Actors that nobody hates annual meeting," followed by Keanu sitting beside Tom Hanks. In fact, Keanu Reeves is so loved on Reddit, he overtook Barack Obama to achieve the most upvoted AMA of all time,
That's
where he
pretty
used
insane.
most of the attention to prop up other actors. This discussion about him being loved only makes others join the train and like him also, although there's one more celebrity who likely has even fewer haters, the one and only Mr. Rogers. His lack of cynics requires little explanation. Fred Rogers was simply unhateable. His demeanor was so kind, calm and caring that when his car was stolen from outside of the network, the thieves returned the car to the exact same spot 2 days later, with a note on the windscreen reading, "If we'd known it was yours, we never would have taken it." Mr. Rogers was the definition of leading by example, as Fred's work for the greater good did not take the form of marching, rallying or picketing. Fred didn't march against Jim Crow, he cast black actors on his program, with his kind nature certainly extending to outside of the show. I actually met him a few times when I was younger. I knew his grandson, and his personality wasn't just some facade he used on camera. He was genuinely one of the nicest people I've ever met. By all accounts, he actually was the kind and gentle man.
Dude, these
he
Raiders,
appeared
man,
to
they've
be
seen
on
everything, man.
TV. In fact, this person thought hating Mr. Rogers was a sign of narcissistic parenting, with his likability being summarized by one single sentence. Mr. Rogers was, and in spirit remains, living proof that it's possible to conquer evil with kindness.
Jeez, man. The Redditors, man. Fucking Redditors, dude. They've seen, done, and are everything that's possible out there, dude. It is what it is.
Yo xQc, this is my first non-gifted sub. Can I get a welcome to the jungle /-5 lol?
Absolutely not.